So as you guys know, the Tiff Tuff is completely established now. It's going really, really well after laying it down just before Christmas. But it is growing like crazy. It is going absolutely nuts at the moment and I'm struggling to keep on top of it. I'm mowing it about twice a week. It's still not enough, so it's time to slow down the growth, put a little bit more color into this area as well, and get on top of the seed heads, because this keeps shooting seed heads 2 to 3 times a week at the moment. It's going absolutely bananas. So we're gonna fix all those problems today. So let's get into it. Yo mate, what up? Welcome to another lawn tip vid. So the Tiff Tuff is looking absolutely pure at the moment, but I definitely think we can get this area looking a lot better. As I mentioned at the start, it's growing quick. There's a lot of seed head about, which seed head looks like a little windmill almost. It pokes up and it's got a little purple sort of flower on it. Not sure if you can see that. That's a really, really tiny bit of seed head just there. But it just looks a little bit nasty. It leaves a little bit of a purple haze across the whole area. It makes it look very untidy. So today we're gonna get on top of the quick growth and fix up that seed head and put some color in here with some plant growth regulator. So if you haven't heard about plant growth regulators before, the easiest way to explain them is they basically slow down the vertical growth of your lawn and help thicken it up as well. It's not going to help your lawn creep sideways. There's a lot of people that think that it does do that. Unfortunately, it doesn't. It just helps thicken it up quite a lot. Makes your turf nice and dense and also helps bring some color back to it as well. And one question I get about plant growth regulator all the time is how often do I apply it and when do I reapply it? Because it does wear out depending on your temperatures and how much sun is about. So if you go on Syngenta's website, they've got something called a growing degrees day calculator, which you can enter your region, enter how much of the product you put out and what product you put out, and it's going to tell you when to reapply the product. Now, the reason we don't want to miss the window of reapplying is because it goes into what they call the rebound stage and it grows like crazy once the product wears off. So you want to make sure you get it down before it hits that regrowth stage. Now, if you're not interested in jumping on their website and looking at that calculator, apply it every 2 to 3 weeks at lower rates. So today I'm applying it here on this area at 6 mil per 100 square meters. And since we're starting to drop down temperature, I'm probably gonna do it every three weeks just to keep on top of it. And that will keep me out of that rebound stage because we've got really, really low night temps at the moment. We're getting back down below 10 degrees. And then our days are starting to sit in the low 20s. So it's really getting a bit cooler, but the Tiff Tuff is still growing like crazy. Now, when it comes to seed head, your first application of plant growth regulator isn't really going to knock the seed head like crazy. It definitely will slow it, but you have to be on a plant growth regulator program to really see seed head suppression on the lawn, which means you need to be regularly applying it so it suppresses that seed head. So if you look on the label, it even talks about seed head suppression and how it can help with winter grass plants and sort of eradicate them out of bent grass golf greens and most other areas as well, because you're actually reducing that seed head population, which in turn stops it, the power or the winter grass seeding and taking over your whole lawn. So it's another good way to get on top of your winter grass as well, if you want to. But the main reason we're doing it here is actually to get rid of the Tiff Tuff or the Cooch seed head. Now, you will find once you start using plant growth regulator regularly, that's hard to say, it will actually, since it's making your turf a lot denser and it's shortening the distance between the nodes on your grass itself, you do actually get a lot more of a dense surface. So it does make a difference in your color. Now we're going to pair alongside some of my Brilliant, which has got some liquid iron with this product today, just so that we can bump a little bit more color in this area, get a little bit of fertilizer out that doesn't really have any nitrogen in it because we're not trying to push growth, and just get this place looking schmick as. Now, you don't have to put down a liquid iron or a liquid fertilizer product with the plant growth regulator, but it can help with the potential burn that you can get from plant growth regulator the first time you use it because your lawn is not used to it. Cool season grass, you don't tend to seem to get that burn. I've never seen a burn from a plant growth regulator before on a cool season grass, but you can on Cooch, Kikuyu and other warm season grasses, so that's why it's good to pair a liquid iron alongside it so we sort of stop that burning. By the way, the burn's not going to kill your lawn off, it just discolors it a little bit and it comes back pretty quickly. So we're putting out the Brilliance at 200 mil per 100 square meters today, and we're also putting out the plant growth regulator at a really low rate, 6 mil per 100 square meters. Lower rate for the first time too, to sort of prevent that burning, and we don't need too much down at the moment because it is starting to cool off. So we're going to be fine. But I always recommend the first time you put down a plant growth regulator, go the lower rate. It has all the grass types on the label. It even gets down to hybrid couches and other grass types as well. And depending on if you've got longer lawn, shorter lawn, it has all those application rates there on the label. But lower rate to start off, and we can adjust from there. So just make sure you do not mow 6 hours either side of putting out the plant growth regulator. So 6 hours before or 6 hours afterwards, just so you don't get any discoloration on the actual plant itself. As I said, make sure you put something like liquid iron out the first time you do it, just to avoid that discoloration or that look of burn. Now, it's not going to kill anything, it's just going to discolor it. That's what can happen if you're not careful, or if you go too high of a rate. Just be aware of that, because I've had a few guys recently email me about that. But apart from that, this should kick in the next 3 to 4 days. This should slow down the growth, help suppress that seed head. We've got to make sure we are on top of applying it at a regular schedule to make sure that we do get on top of that seed head as well, to really get on top of it. But the green, just want to show you guys quickly, after a top dress and mowing with the Toro, is looking mint, looking really good. So it's time to go back to the John Deere now that we've got all the rocks off here. But mate, how good is this starting to look now? Really tightened up nicely. It feels a lot more firm underfoot, like a lot more firm underfoot. And it's just looking the best it's looked in quite a long time. So I definitely needed that top dress. Needed to be groomed as well to thin it out a little bit. But it's just looking lush. Actually had some cockatoos around here recently. Little turds digging into the green. So I've got to put some more sand in these areas. They'll fill in pretty quick. They obviously found out they didn't find anything in there, so they disappeared, but little turds making a mess in there. I actually need to get some plant growth regulator out on the green soon, although I am thinking of doing a renovation on the green in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Core aerate it, groom it again. Not going to go too crazy with the grooming because we've been doing it a bit more often now, and then top dressing it nice and heavy as well. Gonna do that with the ryegrass too, to fix up the problem areas. Gonna have to fix up like some dry spot that we've had over the last little bit. As you can see, it's nasty. That was just yesterday, the day before. Gonna probably come through and spray some Roundup on these nasty patches. That's gonna have to be in the next couple of days, to be honest. And then we'll core aerate, overseed, and then top dress as well on top of that, just to help get this thing coming back. And then next spring, I'm gonna make sure I put my Pre-Emergent out so we don't get summer grass, paspalum, and all the nasty stuff in here. Still a bit of cooch hanging around, but we're getting on top of it with painting it with that Roundup. It is actually working quite well. It just needs an overseed now to make it look nice and lush and healthy again. So last thing, we haven't had any ryegrass pop up on the Kikuyu yet. We've overseeded for some winter colour. Not that I can see anyway. This is where I'd probably see something popping up around here, but there's nothing coming up yet. So I'd say I'll probably see something tonight or over the weekend, but yeah, nothing really coming up yet. I mean, it's only been 3 days today. Like, we'll do it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So yeah, this afternoon will be 3, so not really expecting anything yet. Possibly something tomorrow. Sometimes it can take more than 3 days. Comes down to your weather and your soil temps. But anyway, I'll keep you guys updated on that. I'm sure middle of next week we'll have an update and you guys will see how this looks. We're gonna get mowing on this as quick as we can as well. So probably in about 2 weeks, we'll be trying to do our first mow in this area and getting this looking schmick, nice stripes. For winter time, I'm keen, man. Anyway, thanks guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. You can find the products I talked about today on my website, lawntips.net. Appreciate the support as always, and see you guys in the next vid.